Dust's note earlier. That was horrible. That was quite possibly the most horrendous thing I've ever seen. Beyond the... Oh, there was at least one dog that did something fucked up like that too, actually. I know it just seemed like totally normal wolf just sitting there and stuff. I'm sure everybody's like, what do you want about and stuff? But like, yeah. There's certain things, like it's like an uncanny kind of sense where your body kind of like feels uneasy about it. And that was one of them. Oh man. I am trying not to sneeze so fucking hard. I keep like getting like a little like slight itch. Like a tingle or something like that I'm going to sneeze. And I'm like, no, don't do it. And then it like calms down and then it comes back like a few minutes later. Probably a fucking cat fur or something. I don't think I've... Like before I scratched my nose, I don't think I had any fur fly around. Like I've had it Azula a while back, but not for a while. I doubt it's that. I doubt it's fur. It's probably just like dust or something. Mind you, it's not like dusty in here. Like, the nice thing is about like winter is some of the construction has like died down a little bit. And also we've been getting like a couple of storms. So the funny, like, oh, I guess like hilarious aspect of being Australian is that generally, there's kind of the joke mentality that tradies mostly don't work in the rain, which is fair. Shouldn't have to, but basically the mentality is that for Australians that basically when we see cloud cover coming over, when we see that like it could potentially rain, most job sites are called off and people won't show up. Obviously, if it's an indoor office type job or something like that, like obviously they're going to fucking show up. But like if it's more outdoorsy or like building kind of type stuff, a lot of the time it would just be like, nope, not coming in today kind of thing. And the joke is generally that like, you know, the person will be down at the pub instead. And it's kind of funny. So like whenever we get like big storms and stuff like that, big construction in the area, like really, really big projects like fucking full estates and stuff getting worked on, just stop. Like you can basically guarantee if there's forecasts, even the slightest amount of rain for the week, you'll get a bit of peace and quiet, and on top of the fact that like the rain will help the dust settle. So that is also good. So we've kind of like had that all settled down. Because like even inside, and my car is in a garage, right? And even inside the house, my car is literally covered in like a layer of dust from all the fucking construction in the area. It's fucking annoying. So I can only imagine, like, without regular wiping down and stuff like that, a lot of the other surfaces would have like that kind of layer of like dust, and it's more like more like fine, like what do you call it, like sand-ish. Well, not sand, but like, you know, dusty soil particles. That's what I'm after. I was wondering when this needs repair. I'm like, I've got through so many fucking trees before having to repair it. Oh, fucking hell, my neck just crunched so bad. Be interested to see. There's sometimes you guys can hear it when, like, my neck cracks, and sometimes you can't. It was just really interesting to catch the thunder. I actually clipped it as well, so you guys can actually hear what a Australian thunderclap basically sounds like. It was kind of crazy. It was one of those ones where it was like brutally loud and rattled the house kind of thing. Like we have had bigger storms that have been louder and have really rumbled, like when they're really close. Like we occasionally get storms that hit like just like a couple of streets over from us, like literally only just like a couple of streets away. And it is so loud. It is so blindingly bright and loud. It's just incredible. And yeah, basically the whole house just like the house is a sturdy enough building, right? It's like bricks, brick exterior, wood interior type thing, right? Or plywood or whatever the fuck this stuff is. I don't know what this wall stuff is. But yeah, the framework and stuff's wood. So anyway, when the thunder happens and stuff like that, like you don't really expect the house to rattle, but it does. And it's just fucking crazy that the fucking sound wave itself ends up going through all the bricks and just fucking rattling the wood inside the actual frame. Like literally like rattling the skeleton of my house. Crazy. And I love storms though. I really love storms. I'm surprised that we're getting them so early in the year because we don't usually get them till December. If not, they've been pushing into January. No. You're falling asleep, Nightwolf. No. Give you pats. And slightly pat you while you're just asleep. Yeah, I absolutely adore storms. Like, lightning storms are awesome. I prefer storms with rain, though, generally speaking, because obviously, like, you get the nice smell of rain and the sound as well. That's always really nice. Funny thing is, though, like, it either we don't get enough rain or we get too much rain. So in both cases, if you don't get enough rain or you don't get rain consistently enough, the ground kind of doesn't like soak up the rain when it's happening. So the ground outside kind of ends up looking like it's like flooding anyway, even if it's not that much rain. But when it is a lot of fucking rain, my god, does it just fucking pool. Like, it can be up to my ankles deep outside. Even just outside the doors and stuff. It's just fucking mental. But, yeah, usually when we get rain for a couple of months on and off, almost non-stop. And it's good and it's bad because in summer, it makes the days a lot hotter. Like, you'll know when you're going to have an absolute ripper of a storm because you'll have a stinking hot day that's just unbearably uncomfortable. And then this absolutely ripper of a storm in the late afternoon, early evening. And then if you're lucky, it'll bring rain with it and it'll cool down for a while. And then it'll probably just end up getting muggy again. If not, the following fucking day will be hot again because of it. But in the best case scenario, it's really, really hot and then it rains and it's lovely and cool for like a night and a bit. What are you doing? Oh, you got a cat fucking photo over your porthole. Very cool. Oh, and all your plants and stuff. I'll have to come by so I can show everybody what your place looks like. This is looking pretty cool. I like the aesthetic that you've done with, like, behind the walls is, like, slightly mined, so it gives it, like, a 3D effect. Kind of like, you know those tables? You know those tables that people do with the resins? And they have, like, wood or rocks or something like that. And it adds, like, a three-dimensional sort of situation behind the actual, like, depth of the table itself. I must be nearly done with these trees. Oh, yeah. There's a whole bunch of the natural ones, but there's still so many left to go. I was going to say, I'm like, this should at least take me at least 1 to 2 repairs. And probably the majority... Oh, we've barely even touched the fuel. That's going pretty good. It's almost morning again. Yeah. Alright. So... I mean, the good thing is I'm going to have so much wood from these trees. I'm not going to need to cut down trees for ages. That's kind of the point. When I do resources, I don't fuck around. If I'm going to go and spend my time cutting trees and mining, I'm going to spend some serious fucking time to do it. For sure. 100%. Although I know from like the perspective of watching me, it's probably not the most entertaining thing. But unfortunately, it's a necessity. It's one of those things I've got to do it eventually. And if I get it all done in one hit, it's not so bad. But I feel like I've been mining for like 2 weeks at this point. Mining and harvesting and planting for about 2 weeks. But my crops back home should be almost done in another day or so. I hope. I think it's on average 3 days to a crop. And I'll have to check on my water things too, because they'll probably be full. Might almost be worth going over and checking those, because it has been a solid day, so they'll probably all be full. I kind of don't want to leave here because I'm like, I'm right here. I'm just in the thick of it, but I am just literally across the road from home. Yeah, that way. I just had to figure out. I might just quickly run home and make sure I pick up all the water and stuff like that put away the resources that I've got so that I'm not wasting getting water. I love how you have a couch in there now, Nick. If I had a reason to be going over that way anytime soon, I'd be doing it. You should do is get one of those like water cooler things too, since you've got a fucking esky in there and everything. Oh, you do? God damn. That's hilarious. I love it. Nick's like basically got like this bachelor pad looking place in the apocalypse. I love it. I've gone for trying to build a house, which has been difficult. Mind you, it's a house on stilts, but it's still, nonetheless, it is a house. But like, I do love the pot plants and shit. I like the fact that they brought that in. Like, the funny thing is, in real life, I cannot grow plants. I can put a plant in the yard, and if I don't touch it, and if I don't look at it, it might survive. But if I try to take care of it, it will die. They're still growing. I'm so fucking bad at taking care of plants. Like, instructions be damned, it doesn't fucking help. I will still kill the fucking plant, unintentionally so. Okay, you're done smelting and doing everything for once, actually. I'll take the stuff out of you, I might as well. You're finally done building stuff. Now, the only other thing I wanted to do is I have all of these. That is, I'm going to craft you so I don't have to waste my time doing this in my inventory. If I could do iron spikes. Do that, yep. I don't have to do that myself. That would be really cool. Get these things, recipes, stacks of wood, please. Now, I forgot to actually check in the last box where I could actually put some of those, but that's fine. I'll come back to that. Fill up the rest of the inventory. I'm going to have to get to a point where I either use one of the lockpicks or like something, because I've just got like the excess and it keeps like drawing into there by accident. Let's see, spare you. I have more lead. I don't know if I'm making more. No, that's enough of that one. All right. What did I lose? I lost some stone. That's what I lost. Give me. I literally don't need much. I just need like a little bit of my stack of the stones. The wood can go away. That should be all of that. Let's see. Turn off my light so it's not so horrifically bright in here. But in my... Oh yeah, I've got over 500 fucking pine seeds. Incredible. So I'm going to have quite a lot of fucking plants. I already knew that I was going to have like probably about double what I planted. But yeah, I wasn't expecting to have so many. No, I was always having a dream as well. I'm also hoping that Nightwolf doesn't end up having another nightmare. He had one the other night. Woke up from one. I might just feed her while I'm here. Not Azula, she's already been fed, but I'll feed my person. I'll give her the baked potatoes. That will give me some space. It will use some water, but we got yucca smoothies on us. That'd be right. And if I could just put some of this stuff away, that would be so great. I really just don't have the space. Let's see, I could drink one coffee. That'll give you a little more space. Eat the one taco. There we go. That's how you use your space. Now, I will go mining later. What did you have on you? Oh, that's right. You had the cooktop. Get you on there before I scrap it. Nice. Very nice. Let's go upstairs and put my diamonds away, because everybody should be so lucky to be owning some fucking diamonds and silver in the apocalypse, because, yes, that's the thing. My coins away too. Alright. So still got those on me. They'll be fine. What else do I need? Do I need anything else here? Repair kits are still good. One thing I should have made is I probably should have made some repair kits with that. But then again, I haven't had duct tape. I haven't had cotton. And I am still working on getting cotton. So there is that. Okay, back to it. My torch back on so I can see what I'm fucking doing. Alright. It's nice and bright. One thing I do love about this game, though, is the sunrises. It's like the clouds passing by and stuff. Like, I've had moments where I've literally just like been sitting on top of a building just watching stuff like this. I understand it's a game. I do get that. But they did a really good job with this kind of stuff. Actually, interestingly enough, there was supposed to be like a super blue moon or something on Wednesday night. Not that anybody around here would have been able to have seen it because of the fucking big-ass storm that we had, but it did cross my mind. And, like, that would have been kind of cool to see. honestly. That looks like one of my trees. It'd be a lot easier to find them during the day now, actually. I'll go out of my way to find the straggler ones. Like this. There's one way over here. Yeah, I like it, like, just the rays of light and stuff of the sun as it's rising. And again, like, with the moons and stuff like that, like, there used to be so many times, before I was streaming, nighttime in 7 days used to be kind of like our AFK kind of time. So we'd literally, like, set ourselves up on a building or somewhere safe-ish, where we may not be able to necessarily get immediately accessed by... That's a real tree. By a zombie. But, yeah, we'd house ourselves up on a tree, maybe craft some stuff, whatever, and go get like a drink or go to the bathroom or whatever we needed to do every night. Because it's like about 5 to 7 minutes or something like that, give or take, for nighttime. And as part of that, obviously sometimes you get back and you'd be like, oh man, I can't go to Trader, I can't go out, there'll be zombies, stuff like that. Back obviously when I was less experienced with the game and I was more fearful of like getting killed. And yeah, I would kind of like just sit there and just watch the moon passing overhead and stuff like that in the game. Just staring up at the moon and stuff and waiting for sunrise and stuff. It was very cool. It was very, very chill. But I generally haven't done that for ages. Like obviously sometimes when we're talking at night and nothing is happening, I can kind of do that. But for the most part, sort of can't. My voice is actually feeling very raw. I might actually have a drink. Hold up. What's interesting, so, like I said, with like the whole laryngitis thing, I suspected that I was overusing my voice. The interesting thing was I was expecting it, but I didn't actually know that there was 2 types of laryngitis. So I always knew of the infection one because I get that every so many years, usually. And I completely lose my voice when I get it. But I didn't know at all about the, just the voice strange version of laryngitis. That was really interesting to learn. So when I was getting ready for the first-person shooter event the other week, I was looking into stuff that was really quite funny when I kind of learnt that I'm like, oh, I have been just like overusing it. I've been straining it. And I'm kind of hoping that with time, with practice, my voice maybe adjusts and gets more, I guess, more flexible kind of thing, more comfortable. Because sometimes, I don't know. Here's the funny thing though, right? If I'm like hanging out with a close friend or just like family or Nick or somebody like that, like I could talk for fucking hours comfortably, non-stop. But I think the thing is like it's only for like a day or something like that. Like it's an individual event occurrence kind of thing. So it's kind of like the best way to kind of describe it is it's kind of like practicing for a race kind of thing. Is that streaming's kind of like a vocal race every night for me sort of thing, and without some kind of like proper warm-up and practice and stuff like that and learning better techniques and stuff, it's like it will be challenging and stuff, but like as I get more practice, as I get more advanced with it and stuff like that and learn some better techniques of how to take care of it and whatever, like I'll be able to, I guess, talk more comfortably, longer, stuff like that. Like I already kind of do. As you guys know, I've been like kind of like talking pretty much non-stop. Pretty sure.
Catch you later.
Yeah. I kind of figured you were gonna hop off. I'm like, you look like you're kind of done building.
I still need more stuff inside.
Oh. If you leave it unlocked, I'll go for a look through and show chat. Yeah. It looks nice. It's looking really nice. I like the little feature wall you've got in there. I really like that, the fucking earthen wall. I can't wait to show you guys. Oh, that's a real tree. By real tree,
we're on the ground and
no, I just like the fact that it looks like if you scroll up, it looks like you've got like a feature wall sort of thing,
Yeah.
like like
That was the plan.
anybody that does like Gundam building and stuff like that, or even just figurine building and stuff like that, like of like the backgrounds and stuff like that, you can set a scene and stuff.
There's
And
even a lantern on the roof.
Oh, yeah.
So it lights up the rock outside area, so we can look up and it's dark.
That looks so cool. Yeah, I don't know if you'll have your electricity on. I probably wouldn't leave it running.
These are lanterns.
Ah.
I did put lights on it, but I couldn't bother running the power down, and the solar panels are too expensive.
I gotta admit, the lanterns are OP now.
Yeah, that is lights with no power.
Yeah. Well, we did kind of use them in the past, but not this much.
This could look better.
They could look better. They did used to look better, but look, at least it's infinite light source. That is something I could do around my base, is I could make lanterns. I'll have a look at what kind of parts I've got, and I might go raid some towns at some point.
So you buy stuff from over.
I saw that. You know Grim's gonna do it too. He'll be like, I'm not handing you anything. You can buy it from me. Because I know he's been wanting to implement them for years. Mirthless has a really good system with his guys with it. But it also depends what you're charging for them, though.
You can lower the price.
Yeah, but it also just depends what you're charging for stuff, Nick. Because you're actually charging instead of just having and giving.
At this point, it may be just infinite storage.
That's actually an interesting point. I guess, like, we've never used them, so...
You put a pin on it so no one can just walk in and grab your stuff. But then pay to get it out there, so if they really want it.
Yeah. That's fair.
Motorbikes in there, bicycle, motorbike.
Well...
All my grenades, some weapons.
Considering the fact that the vehicles can be destroyed now, and can actually, like, blow up and disappear and stuff, it's actually useful to have spares and surplus vehicles. Especially since, like, what was it the other day? I literally took 3 or 4 repair kits to repair my bike, I think it was.
Yeah, the car is like 5 or 6.
Yeah. Well, I kept going through the river, and that was apparently not okay for the bike. Apparently, that's really not okay for the bike. So yeah, that's something I have to remember not to do, is I keep taking my bike through water.
Because to get down here, you've got to go through the opening, and the opening has a turret above
I'll let you go to bed.
it. Yeah.
I have how many trees left? Not many. Oh man, we've almost got all of them. And then yeah, I might actually have a look at what resources we've got. I might go loot a town. I've been kind of wanting to go up into like the snow towns, maybe. I like hanging around in the snow towns. I don't know why, it just is nicer. Whoops, that's a normal tree. Yeah, the difference between normal trees, the ones that natural spawn versus the ones that I've planted. I prefer to keep the natural spawns as much as physically possible wherever they may be. Just for overall natural aesthetic of an area. Like the fact that I've planted these all here, I would rather plant them in the green area, but you can't always have, you know, stuff like that. I just like the fact that these at least went to 1200, because some areas and some types of trees don't end up growing more. Like the snow trees only go to, I think, 900 at maximum outside of the snow biome. Which makes no fucking sense because they're still covered in snow. So, like, the fuck, you know? But at least I'll be able to spot my trees out here anyway. Be able to know if I've missed one, I'll be able to spot it soon because I'll have so fucking few. I also won't need to hopefully do any more cutting down of fucking trees for a while. That would be nice. Like I said, I generally try not to do... If I'm going to plant something, I'm going to plant a lot of it. If I'm going to harvest something, I'm going to harvest a lot of it. When I do resources, I kind of want to do it once. Do it once well, and then fuck off with it, basically. Yeah. Like, if I'm going to be out here, like, I've got absolutely no problem with mining or harvesting and stuff like that for hours. Like, it does not bother me. But if I'm going to do it, I really only want to do it once or twice. Like, the fact that, like, I keep saying, like, I feel like I've been mining for, like, weeks because I've been doing like a snippet here and there, like a couple of hours here and there, and I'm like, if I wasn't streaming, I would literally just sit there for, I think Grim had the time of it was what, 16 hours or something. I spent mining one day. Like literally just, I sat down and played 7 days, just pure mining for fucking 16 hours. That's not a surprise to me. Like, there would have been nothing else. It would have been day and night non-stop. That also would have been my bedrock mine too, for fucking certain. I had this absolutely massive bedrock area, which was like probably about the size of like, I don't know, what do you call them? Like one of those lap track, fucking racetrack things, right? Would have been like, whatever. I don't know what they're fucking called. I literally cannot remember. I'm just going to go with the fact that it was probably about the size of a standard fucking school. Most people roughly know a rough estimate of what a standard size school is, more or less. So it was like that, except at the bottom of the ravine was the size of like the footprint that I was working with, just constantly going around in circles mining for hours. And I was doing nothing special. I think I was just like holding a mild conversation the whole time. The funny thing is there's a shit ton of rocks here. I never really noticed until now that there's so many rocks out here in this like burnt area. Like normally we go to the snow to like find rocks, unless I'm obviously like I get rocks in my mining, but you know, it's interesting how many are in this particular biome itself. A little bit of a surprise. I look like I'm at the edge of the Greenland area anyway, which was the only other spot that I could think of that had trees. So I probably mostly got them. I'll do a quick like run up to hill after this and I'll see if there's any like these that are sticking out somewhere that I've missed. I mostly just want to sweep them away. That looks like lead. I love how some of the metals and stuff look in this game though. Fucking cut down already, Jesus Christ. Again, I'm so glad that my person has a fucking chainsaw. Because if I didn't, we'd be here for a week and a bit. There's more coal, so there's a second bit of coal. I might just mark that up. Hold up. If there's 2 coal, I know I spelled that wrong, doesn't matter. If there's 2 coal here, then there could be a seam through here. Depending on if that is also coal, this whole area could be a coal mine, which I would be okay with mining a ravine that close to my base. That's not really a problem. I also relish in the idea of making another bedrock fucking mine. This time, though, I'm going to make it a lot wider to begin with. You can get a lot more resources as you go down if you cast a wider fucking net for it. If you make it too skinny and you go down like a fucking pinhole, like, you can't scrape the walls. Like, I don't know what I think it was The Simpsons. Okay, so there was, like, an episode of Simpsons fucking way back in either early 2000s or late 90s or whatever. Fucking God only knows, can't remember. Where Lisa thinks she's fat and refuses to basically like, eat anything. And at one point, Marge, it tries to convince her that she really does need to just eat something, even if it's only, like, a tiny bite. So Lisa literally holds up a carrot and scrapes her teeth along the walls of the fucking carrot to take the tiniest little shred. And she's like, great, now I can't have toothpaste tonight because of you. And every time I talk about scraping the walls of like the mine and stuff like that, that's what I think of. It's literally like teeth, like just scraping so fucking precise down the side walls, just to take the smallest fucking layer off. It is a weird, obscure thing, but that is the mental image that I have. It's the same sort of thing as when Bless does, like, fucking hydrate in the little raccoon symbol. And, like, literally all I can think of is a raccoon drinking out of a glass, staring me down. It's definitely got things.